Welcome, fellow crafter and adventurer, to a gentle journey through the fascinating secrets of Minecraft's blocky universe. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe for more sleep stories for gamers. Tonight, we'll explore the hidden mechanics, surprising behaviors, and delightful oddities that make this sandbox world endlessly captivating. From the mysterious ways mobs interact with their environment, to the clever tricks that veteran players have discovered over years of exploration, we'll wander through a landscape of wonder where every block holds a story and every creature has its quirks. So settle into your bed, make yourself comfortable beneath your covers, and let the soothing ambient sounds of this pixelated realm carry you into peaceful slumber as we discover together the countless fascinating details that make Minecraft truly special. Close your eyes and let's explore these infinite worlds of possibility, where the extraordinary hides within the ordinary, waiting to be discovered. The accidental icon. Picture yourself standing in a Minecraft world, watching as a green creature with a distinctively sad expression shuffles toward you. The Creeper, perhaps gaming's most recognizable monster, owes its existence not to deliberate design, but to a simple coding mistake. When Notch was attempting to create the first passive pig mob for the game, he accidentally swapped the height and length values in the creature's model. Instead of a horizontal, pig-shaped body, the code produced a tall, vertical creature that stood upright like a strange, silent sentinel. Most developers would have deleted this error and started over. But something about this bizarre, mistaken creature captured Notch's imagination. He added a green texture, gave it the ability to explode, and inadvertently created one of the most iconic characters in gaming history. The Creeper's design philosophy extends beyond its accidental origins into its behavior. Unlike other hostile mobs that attack with claws or projectiles, the Creeper chose a different path, sacrificing itself to cause maximum destruction. This suicide attack pattern creates a unique tension that defines Minecraft's survival experience. You can have the best armor, the strongest weapons, and years of experience, but a single Creeper explosion can still ruin hours of careful building in seconds. The creature's AI includes a fascinating detail that many players never notice. Creepers actively avoid cats and ocelots, fleeing from these feline creatures with genuine fear. This behavior gives cats a special role in Minecraft communities, transforming adorable pets into effective security systems. Players discovered they could create creeper-proof perimeters simply by surrounding their bases with cats, turning predator-prey relationships into practical architecture. When lightning strikes near a creeper, something remarkable happens. The electrical energy transforms the creature into a charged variant, surrounded by a crackling blue aura that signals increased danger. A charged creeper's explosion radius and damage output nearly double, making them among the most devastating mobs in the game. But this power comes with an unusual benefit. When a charged creeper's explosion kills another mob, that mob drops its head as a rare trophy. This mechanic creates strange scenarios where players actually orchestrate creeper explosions, positioning mobs carefully to harvest their heads for decoration. The explosion that players fear most becomes a tool for collection. Creepers possess another strange quirk, visible only to those who use spectator mode. From a creeper's perspective, the entire world appears tinted green, as though they view reality through emerald-colored lenses. This visual filter suggests something fundamental about how creepers perceive their environment. Are they colorblind? Do they see heat signatures? The game never explains this mystery, leaving players to wonder what drives these silent destroyers. Their inability to climb ladders despite having no arms adds another layer of biological impossibility. They navigate terrain, avoid obstacles, and pursue targets with surprising competence, all without visible limbs to interact with the world. The Enderman Enigma. Stand perfectly still in the dark and watch an Enderman. These tall, shadowy figures teleport randomly, picking up and carrying blocks with invisible hands, rearranging the landscape one cube at a time. Their behavior seems alien and purposeless until you examine the details hidden beneath their surface actions. When Endermen vocalize, their sounds seem like incomprehensible alien language, warped and distorted beyond recognition. But audio engineers who isolated and analyzed these sounds discovered something startling. The Endermen aren't speaking an alien language at all. They're speaking English. Simple phrases like, "Hello," "What's up," and "Look for the I" play in reverse and at altered pitch, creating their distinctive otherworldly communication. This revelation transforms their sounds from random noise into intentional, if cryptic, attempts at communication. Endermen follow strange rules of engagement that set them apart from typical hostile mobs. They remain neutral until provoked by direct eye contact. Looking at an Enderman triggers aggression, causing the creature to freeze, open its mouth in a silent scream, and then teleport toward the player with violent intent. This mechanic creates psychological horror that other mobs cannot match. You control whether Endermen attack by controlling where you look, transforming survival into a game of careful observation and deliberate ignorance. The solution to Enderman aggression sits in the game's most humble item. Wearing a carved pumpkin on your head makes you invisible to Enderman's sight-based aggression trigger. You can stare directly at them, stand within arm's reach, even follow them around, and they'll never react. The carved pumpkin's eye holes limit your own vision, reducing your field of view significantly. But this trade-off grants immunity to one of the game's most dangerous mobs. Endermen demonstrate remarkable selectivity in their block collection habits. They cannot pick up every block type, showing preference for natural materials like dirt, grass, sand, and gravel, while ignoring crafted blocks like stone bricks or planks. This selectivity prevents them from dismantling player structures, though they'll happily rearrange the landscape's natural features. Players sometimes discover strange towers of mismatched blocks that Endermen have constructed through countless cycles of picking up and placing down their collected materials. These towers serve no apparent purpose, suggesting that Endermen might build simply for the sake of building, finding satisfaction in rearranging their environment. Water represents an Enderman's greatest weakness, though not in ways that other mobs fear it. Endermen take damage from water contact, causing them to teleport frantically away from rain, rivers, and oceans. This hydrophobia makes them uniquely vulnerable despite their teleportation abilities. A player standing in shallow water gains near immunity to Enderman attacks, watching as these powerful creatures teleport repeatedly in futile attempts to reach their target, each teleport landing them in more water and dealing more damage. This creates tactical opportunities where the strongest mob in the overworld becomes helpless against the environment itself. In spectator mode, viewing the world through an Enderman's eyes reveals another visual anomaly. Everything appears inverted, colors reversed into their opposites like a photographic negative. Blues become oranges, greens become reds, and the familiar Minecraft landscape transforms into an alien realm. This inverted vision suggests that Endermen literally see a different reality than other creatures, perceiving the world through fundamentally different sensory mechanisms. Whether this relates to their ability to sense when players look at them, remains unexplained, another mystery in their collection of strange behaviors. The moon's hidden influence. Look up at Minecraft's night sky, and you'll see a moon that changes appearance over time, cycling through 8 distinct phases from new moon to full moon and back again. Most players treat this as simple decoration, aesthetic variation that adds visual interest to long nights spent mining or building. But the moon's phases influence the game world in subtle ways that affect gameplay, whether players notice or not. The moon phase determines not just how much light illuminates the night, but also how many slimes spawn in swamp biomes throughout the Java edition. During a full moon, slime spawn rates reach their maximum, filling swamps with bouncing green cubes that drop slime balls when defeated. These slime balls craft into essential items like sticky pistons and leads, making full moon nights valuable opportunities for resource gathering. As the moon wanes toward new moon, slime spawns decrease proportionally, making them increasingly rare until the darkest nights of the lunar cycle, when slimes nearly disappear from swamp biomes entirely. This spawn mechanic creates an interesting relationship between celestial observation and practical resource management. Players who need slime balls learn to track the moon's cycle, planning their swamp expeditions for nights when the full moon guarantees abundant spawns. The strategy transforms moon watching from passive observation into active gameplay consideration, rewarding players who pay attention to environmental details. Slime chunks, those special underground areas where slimes spawn regardless of moon phase, remain unaffected by lunar cycles, providing an alternative source for players who prefer predictable farming over moon watching. The moon's influence extends beyond slimes into stranger territories. During full moons, black cats spawn more frequently in villages, though they're not exclusive to this phase. Witch huts always generate with a black cat companion, but village strays show preference for full moon arrivals, giving these mysterious felines their own lunar connection. Whether this represents superstition programmed into game code or practical spawn rate tuning remains ambiguous, but players notice the correlation between full moons and increased black cat encounters. Fishing receives subtle buffs during rainstorms, a detail many players never discover. In real life, fish bite more actively when rain disrupts water surfaces, and Minecraft honors this behavior. Casting a fishing rod during rainfall reduces wait times between catches and slightly increases chances of catching treasure items instead of junk. This mechanical detail rewards players who fish during weather conditions that most would consider unpleasant, finding advantage in circumstances that seem disadvantageous. The gentle patter of rain becomes audio accompaniment to improved fishing yields, transforming storms from obstacles into opportunities. The secret life of villagers. Villagers lead surprisingly complex lives within their small communities, following daily routines that mirror human social patterns. They wake at dawn, socialize with neighbors, pursue their professions at workstations, and return home at dusk to sleep. But beneath this peaceful routine lies a system of intricate mechanics that govern villager behavior, determining everything from breeding patterns to professional development. Each villager possesses distinct personality through their profession and appearance, but all share certain fundamental behaviors that define village life. When lightning strikes a villager, tragedy occurs. The electrical charge transforms this peaceful NPC into a witch, complete with hat, wart nose, and hostile intentions. The transformation is permanent and irreversible, turning a former community member into an enemy that throws harmful potions at players and other villagers alike. This mechanic means that protecting villages from lightning storms becomes important beyond simple aesthetics. A single lightning strike during a thunderstorm can corrupt a master-level villager with valuable trades, replacing them with a hostile witch that threatens the entire community. Building lightning rods near villages provides protection, attracting strikes to safe locations and preventing villager transformations. Villages harbor secrets that casual players often miss completely. Every village has a 50% chance of generating with a hidden basement beneath its buildings. These secret rooms contain valuable loot, including potions, golden apples, and other rare items worth discovering. Finding these hidden chambers requires careful observation and willingness to break blocks beneath innocuous-looking structures. Looking under carpets reveals trapdoors leading to concealed spaces, rewarding thorough exploration with unexpected treasures. The blacksmith building, identifiable by its furnace and stone construction, generates with a chest containing especially valuable loot. These chests can hold iron ingots, armor, weapons, and even diamonds, providing significant early-game advantages to players who locate and claim them. The random nature of chest contents means each blacksmith offers different rewards, encouraging players to explore multiple villages in search of the best possible starting equipment. Some speedrunners base their entire strategy around finding villages with favorable blacksmith loot, using these pre-generated resources to skip hours of mining and crafting. Villagers follow a peculiar rule regarding doors and houses. The game counts a door as valid housing if one side has more sunlight exposure than the other, creating a light differential that the game interprets as inside versus outside. This technical definition means players can create artificial villages by building door arrays that satisfy these light requirements without creating actual houses. Villagers will treat properly configured doors as housing, enabling the breeding mechanics that grow village populations. This exploit led to massive door farms, where players constructed arrays of hundreds of doors to maximize villager breeding, creating enormous populations in compact spaces. Hint: the peculiar physics of Minecraft. Minecraft operates according to physics that differ fundamentally from reality, creating a world where logic bends to game mechanics, and surprising behaviors emerge from simple rules applied consistently. Understanding these physics opens possibilities that seem impossible at first glance, revealing a universe where creativity overcomes apparent limitations. Boats defy expectations in remarkable ways. Most players view boats as simple transportation for crossing water surfaces, but these wooden vessels possess hidden capabilities that transform them into versatile tools. A boat can trap hostile and passive mobs, containing them safely regardless of their usual behavior. Skeletons, zombies, even Endermen become helpless passengers once placed in boats, unable to exit or attack effectively. This makes boats excellent tools for mob transportation and temporary containment. More remarkably, boats prevent all fall damage regardless of height. A player can fall from world height limit to bedrock, instantly taking fatal damage unless they land in a boat at ground level. The boat absorbs the entire impact, leaving its passenger completely unharmed. This mechanic enables otherwise impossible jumps, turning what should be certain death into harmless travel. Cacti destroy items on contact, making them perfect, natural garbage disposals. Players can throw unwanted items directly at cacti, watching as the prickly plants instantly delete everything that touches them. This provides permanent item disposal without complex redstone contraption or lava risks. Digging a hole, placing a cactus at the bottom, and surrounding it with a fence creates a tidy trash can that requires no maintenance and never fills up. The cactus simply removes items from existence, maintaining a clean inventory without storage concerns. Sand and gravel obey gravity, falling when unsupported, unlike most Minecraft blocks. This seemingly simple property creates complex possibilities when combined with other mechanics. Placing 2 sand blocks on an open fence gate, then breaking one causes the remaining sand to fall into the gate's hitbox. The sand block remains suspended there, appearing solid but allowing players to swim through it when water sources surround the gate. This creates invisible entrances that look like solid walls but permit passage to those who know the secret. The gate supports the sand block visually, while its open state permits movement through the space, combining 2 mechanics into a third emergent behavior. Shulker boxes possess such powerful placement mechanics that they can push players through solid walls. When a shulker box opens, its expanding hitbox creates force that displaces anything in its expansion path. If a player stands against a wall while opening a shulker box, the expansion force can clip them through the solid block, teleporting them into otherwise inaccessible spaces. This technically constitutes a glitch, but it demonstrates how consistent application of simple rules creates unexpected edge cases that players exploit for unintended purposes. The Warden's Whispered Terror. Deep below the surface, beneath even the deepest caves, lies the deep, dark biome where skulk spreads like infection across stone surfaces. Here dwells the Warden, a creature that redefines what Minecraft players should fear. Unlike other hostile mobs that rely on sight to locate targets, the Warden is completely blind, navigating through sound and vibration with terrifying effectiveness. Every footstep, every broken block, every projectile impact sends vibrations through the skulk that the Warden detects with precision. The creature stands taller than iron golems, its body composed of animated skulk with a glowing heart visible through its ribcage. That pulsing light beats faster as the Warden becomes more agitated, providing visual warning of increasing danger. The Warden's strength exceeds that of the Ender Dragon and Wither combined. A single Warden attack can deal devastating damage that tears through netherite armor like paper, killing even well-equipped players in just 2 hits. Its health pool dwarfs other mobs, requiring sustained coordinated attacks to bring down. But fighting the Warden represents a fundamental misunderstanding of its design. The developers created the Warden not as a boss to defeat, but as a threat to avoid. A force of nature that players should fear and evade rather than challenge. This philosophy shift introduces genuine horror to Minecraft, creating encounters where survival depends on stealth rather than combat strength. Skulk sensors detect vibrations and transmit that information to the Warden, creating a network of sensory input across the deep dark. Breaking blocks, opening chests, even throwing items generates vibrations that alert the Warden to player presence. The creature responds by emerging from the ground, skulk peeling away as it rises to hunt. Once spawned, the Warden pursues its target with relentless determination, teleporting through walls if necessary to maintain pursuit. Running doesn't work. The Warden moves faster than sprinting players. Building up doesn't work. It can reach surprisingly high. The only reliable escape involves remaining perfectly still or sneaking slowly while the Warden's attention focuses elsewhere. Wool blocks absorb vibrations, preventing them from traveling through skulk networks. Players discovered they could use wool carpets to create silent pathways through the deep dark, crossing otherwise dangerous territory without alerting sensors or Wardens. Wool placed over skulk sensors blocks their function entirely, disabling the Warden's detection network one sensor at a time. This creates a strange cat and mouse dynamic where players carefully disable sensors, place wool pathways, and tiptoe through what should be the most dangerous biome in the game. The Warden's presence transforms exploration into puzzle solving, where understanding mechanics matters more than combat prowess. The Warden's introduction changed Minecraft's fundamental relationship between player power and environmental danger. Previously, sufficiently prepared players could overcome any threat through superior equipment and skill. The Warden breaks this equation by being unkillable for most players and unrewarding to defeat even if successfully killed. It drops minimal loot relative to the resources required to fight it, making avoidance the only rational strategy. This design philosophy creates true dread, acknowledging that some threats deserve fear regardless of player preparation level. The strange transformations. Minecraft mobs transform under specific circumstances, changing their fundamental nature when certain conditions are met. These metamorphoses range from subtle to dramatic, altering appearances, behaviors, and threat levels in ways that constantly surprise players who witness them. Lightning strikes near pigs produce perhaps the most dramatic transformation in the game. When lightning hits within a small radius of a pig, electrical energy converts the pink creature into a zombie pigman, complete with golden sword and permanent aggression toward players who provoke it. This transformation is instantaneous and permanent, erasing the peaceful pig and replacing it with a hostile mob that never forgives attacks. The mechanic rarely occurs naturally due to the precise positioning required, but players can deliberately trigger it by channeling tridents during thunderstorms or using creative mode lightning spawning. Red mushrooms and brown mushrooms represent the same species in different states. When lightning strikes a red mushroom, it transforms into the brown variant. Lightning striking a brown mushroom reverses the process, creating a red one. These mushroom cows exist only in rare mushroom field biomes, making their lightning transformations particularly notable events. The color change alters more than aesthetics. It changes the type of suspicious stew the mushroom produces when fed flowers. Different flower types fed to brown mushrooms create different stew effects, while red mushrooms only produce mushroom stew regardless of flower feeding. This gives brown mushrooms additional utility despite their rarity. Drowned represent zombies that underwent underwater transformation. When a zombie remains submerged for too long, the water pressure and drowning converts it into a drowned variant with bluish-green skin and the ability to survive indefinitely underwater. Drowned swim effectively, spawn naturally in ocean biomes, and carry tridents with deadly accuracy. The transformation works in reverse under specific circumstances. A drowned that leaves water and stays on land long enough can convert back into a regular zombie, though this rarely occurs naturally since drowned prefer aquatic environments. Husks, the desert zombies immune to sunlight, demonstrate similar conversion mechanics. When a husk enters water, it begins transforming back into a regular zombie. The desert mummy appearance peels away, revealing normal zombie features beneath. If that zombie leaves the water and stays dry, it eventually becomes a husk again, cycling between variants based on environmental exposure. These transformations suggest that zombies represent a base form that adapts to environmental conditions, with drowning and desiccation creating specialized variants suited to specific biomes. Villagers struck by lightning undergo the most tragic transformation, becoming witches immediately upon taking electrical damage. The peaceful NPC gains a witch's hat, develops a warty nose, and begins throwing harmful potions at everything nearby. This transformation is permanent and represents the only natural way for witches to spawn outside their swamp huts. The mechanic creates genuine tragedy when lightning strikes a valuable villager with rare trades, erasing hours of cultivation and replacing a helpful, NPC with an actively hostile one. Zombified piglins occupy a strange space in transformation mechanics. These neutral mobs populate the Nether, attacking only when provoked. But regular piglins brought into the overworld undergo gradual transformation into zombified versions, suggesting that something about the overworld's atmosphere or properties corrupts their living tissue. The transformation takes time, giving players brief windows to work with living piglins before corruption completes. Zombified piglins cannot transform back into living ones through any known process, making the conversion permanent once complete. Hound. The Name Tag Chronicles. Name tags in Minecraft serve the obvious purpose of labeling mobs, preventing them from despawning and adding personality to pet animals. But certain names trigger special behaviors that transform ordinary mobs into something unexpected, revealing hidden functionality programmed into specific creatures. Naming any sheep Jeb _, including the underscore, causes its wool to cycle slowly through all available colors, creating a rainbow effect that shifts continuously. The sheep doesn't actually change wool color mechanically. Shearing it produces the wool color it would normally have. But visually, the named sheep displays a mesmerizing color cycle that never stops. This Easter egg honors Jens Bergenstein, Minecraft's lead developer after Notch, whose username is Jeb. Players use this trick to create special decorative sheep that stand out from normal farm animals. Naming a rabbit Toast changes its appearance to a specific skin pattern that resembles a player's real rabbit. The pattern shows black and white splotches in a distinctive arrangement, unlike any naturally spawning rabbit variant. This Easter egg commemorates a player's beloved pet rabbit that passed away, with the pattern based on pictures they shared with the development team. The name must be exactly Toast to trigger the transformation, case-sensitive and precise. Naming a Vindicator Johnny turns this already aggressive illager into a berserk killing machine that attacks every mob in sight except other illagers. The Johnny Vindicator charges at passive animals, hostile mobs, even iron golems, swinging its axe with abandon. This behavior references The Shining and Johnny's axe-wielding rampage in that film. The Easter egg creates chaos in any environment, turning one of the game's most dangerous mobs into an indiscriminate destroyer. Name tags themselves must be found as treasure or obtained through trading. They cannot be crafted. This makes them valuable items that players conserve for important uses. But once applied, a name tag permanently prevents that mob from despawning, regardless of distance or chunk loading. This makes name tags essential for keeping specific animals or villagers safe, ensuring valuable specimens don't vanish when the player explores far from home. The inability to craft name tags creates interesting economic dynamics on multiplayer servers. Players trade for them, share them among community members, and carefully consider which mobs deserve naming. A named horse represents investment, as does a named villager with excellent trades. The permanence of naming adds weight to the decision, making each application meaningful rather than disposable. The fishing secrets. Fishing in Minecraft appears straightforward. Cast a line into water, wait for bubbles to approach the bobber, then reel in when it dips below the surface. But beneath this simple surface lies a complex system of probabilities, mechanics, and hidden optimizations that transform casual fishing into strategic resource gathering. Rain improves fishing yields, reducing wait times between catches and slightly increasing chances of obtaining treasure items. The improved catch rate during storms makes sense from a realism perspective, as fish bite more actively when rain disrupts water surfaces. But few players notice this bonus or deliberately fish during rainfall. Those who understand the mechanic time their fishing sessions to storms, maximizing efficiency by working with weather rather than against it. Treasure catches include name tags, saddles, enchanted books, and enchanted fishing rods, items otherwise difficult to obtain. The Luck of the Sea enchantment increases treasure probability, making enchanted fishing rods capable of producing valuable items relatively frequently. Combined with Lure, which decreases wait time between catches, a properly enchanted fishing rod becomes a powerful tool for resource generation. Some players create AFK fishing farms that automatically cast and reel in fish while they're away, generating chests full of fish, treasure, and experience orbs without active participation. The fishing bobber must be cast into water with specific depth requirements to catch fish properly. Shallow water produces only junk items, while water at least 2 blocks deep enables full catch tables, including treasure. The game checks the blocks surrounding the bobber, reducing catch quality if lily pads, boats, or other entities obstruct the surface. This encourages players to fish from clear, open water rather than cluttered areas. Fishing rods can hook entities beyond fish, including items, boats, and even other players or mobs. This versatility makes fishing rods useful for retrieving items from dangerous locations, pulling mobs into traps, or causing mischief in multiplayer by yanking other players around. The rod's ability to apply knockback and drag entities creates emergent gameplay beyond its intended fishing purpose. The doggy details. Tamed wolves, commonly called dogs by players, demonstrate loyalty that makes them beloved companions throughout Minecraft survival. They follow their owner everywhere, teleporting to catch up if left behind. They attack anything that threatens their owner, defending with canine devotion. But these faithful companions possess details that even experienced owners often miss. A dog's tail position indicates its current health, functioning as a built-in health meter visible to observant players. A tail held high and proud signals full health. As the dog takes damage, its tail droops lower, sagging towards the ground as health decreases. A tail hanging completely limp warns that the dog has critically low health and requires healing urgently. This visual feedback allows players to monitor their pet's well-being without additional interface elements, integrating health information into the dog's model itself. Dogs can be healed by feeding them any meat item, including rotten flesh that would poison players. The same rotten flesh that causes hunger effects and nausea in humans restores a dog's health without negative consequences, making zombies' meat drops valuable for pet care. Feeding dogs keeps them alive during combat, allowing them to continue protecting their owners instead of dying from accumulated damage. Sitting dogs remain in place until their owner right-clicks them again, regardless of danger or circumstance. This behavior sometimes leads to dogs being left behind accidentally when players forget to make them stand before leaving an area. Sitting dogs also don't teleport to follow their owner, meaning a dog left sitting will remain in that location potentially forever, unless the player returns to collect it. This has led to countless situations where players suddenly remember a dog left sitting in some cave or building, triggering expeditions to recover abandoned companions. Dogs demonstrate pack behavior when multiple are tamed to the same player. They follow together, attack together, and sit together, unless individually commanded otherwise. A pack of dogs can overwhelm most hostile mobs through sheer numbers, making them effective security forces for bases or traveling companions for dangerous expeditions. Their collective aggression deters creepers, kills skeletons before they can fire arrows, and generally makes survival significantly safer. Untamed wolves exist in a neutral state, neither friendly nor hostile unless provoked. Attacking one wolf aggroes all nearby wolves in a pack, causing them to swarm the attacker with coordinated rage. Their eyes glow red when aggressive, and they deal surprising damage in groups. This makes wild wolf packs genuinely dangerous when provoked, requiring caution when encountering them in forest and taiga biomes. The carpet trick. Fences serve as excellent barriers, keeping animals contained in pens while allowing players to see through them. But creating gates in fence systems introduces a problem. Fence gates must open to allow player passage, and that opening gives animals opportunities to escape. A cow standing near the gate can push through the moment it opens, fleeing into the surrounding terrain. This forces players to create complex airlock systems or carefully manage animal positions. Placing carpet on top of fence blocks solves this problem elegantly. The carpet sits at a height that allows players to jump onto the fence and walk across the carpet surface easily. But mobs cannot perform this maneuver. They treat the fenced carpet as an impassable barrier despite the lack of visual obstruction. This allows players to enter and exit animal pens by jumping onto the fence and walking across, while animals remain safely contained. The carpet creates a one-way barrier that grants access to players while denying it to mobs. This mechanic extends beyond fences to other situations where player passage should be simple, but mob passage should be prevented. Carpet placed on any surface can create barrier effects that rely on player jumping ability. Since most hostile mobs cannot jump as effectively as players, carpet barriers create safe zones or elevated pathways that remain accessible to players while blocking mob movement. Different carpet colors allow for aesthetic customization while maintaining functionality. Players can match carpet colors to their building palettes, integrating functional barriers into decorative schemes without compromising either utility or appearance. The thin profile of carpet makes it visually unobtrusive, creating effective barriers without the bulk of traditional walls or fences. The Pink Sheep Legend. Among all Minecraft mobs, pink sheep hold legendary status for their rarity. Natural sheep spawning includes a specific probability table that determines wool color, with most colors appearing relatively commonly. White sheep are most frequent, followed by black and gray. But pink sheep occupy the rarest tier, with only a 0.164% chance of spawning naturally. This extreme rarity makes encountering a pink sheep a genuinely special event, worthy of screenshots and excited messages to friends. The probability compounds for baby pink sheep. Since babies spawn less frequently than adults and pink coloration is already extremely rare, a naturally spawned baby pink sheep has approximately a 0.0082% chance of appearing. This makes them among the absolute rarest, naturally occurring mobs in unmodified Minecraft. Players can go thousands of hours without seeing one, making any encounter remarkable. Pink sheep can be created artificially by dyeing white sheep with pink dye, removing the rarity factor through crafting. But these dyed sheep lack the prestige of natural spawns. Players distinguish between real pink sheep that spawned naturally and fake pink sheep created through dyeing. The distinction matters to collectors and achievement-focused players who seek rare natural phenomena rather than crafted imitations. Some players embark on dedicated searches for pink sheep, exploring biome after biome in hopes of finding natural spawns. The search itself becomes meaningful through its difficulty, with each sheep examined building anticipation. When a pink sheep finally appears, the moment carries weight proportional to the effort invested in the search. This dynamic transforms a simple mob into a treasured discovery. Elevating a pink sheep from common livestock to prized specimen. The pink sheep's legendary status inspired various myths and rumors within Minecraft communities. Some players claimed pink sheep only spawned in specific biomes or under special conditions. Others suggested that pink sheep appeared more frequently during certain moon phases or times of day. These myths persisted despite having no basis in code, demonstrating how rare events generate speculation and storytelling in player communities. The kelp knowledge. Kelp grows naturally in ocean biomes, rising from the sea floor toward the surface in tall, swaying columns. It serves as decoration, provides food when cooked into dried kelp, and fuels furnaces efficiently when crafted into kelp blocks. But kelp possesses a hidden property that distinguishes it from other growing plants. Right-clicking kelp with an empty hand stops its growth permanently at its current height. This growth-stopping ability also applies to cave vines, twisting vines, and weeping vines, giving players precise control over vine length without requiring shears or other tools. The stopped growth remains permanent until the plant is broken and replaced, allowing for exact architectural control in builds that incorporate growing plants. This mechanic proves particularly useful when growing kelp in axolotl ponds. Kelp naturally wants to grow tall, eventually covering large portions of the pond's surface and hiding the axolotls beneath. By stopping kelp growth at low heights, players maintain clear visibility into their ponds while still providing the aquatic environment that kelp indicates. The controlled growth allows decorative kelp presence without obscuring the cute amphibians that players want to observe and display. Kelp grows remarkably quickly compared to other plants, making it excellent for creating natural-looking underwater environments rapidly. A single kelp plant placed on the ocean floor grows upward autonomously until it reaches the surface or is manually stopped. This fast growth enables quick ocean beautification projects, transforming barren underwater terrain into lush kelp forests in minimal time. Dried kelp blocks burn longer than most fuel sources, making them highly efficient for smelting operations. 9 dried kelp crafts into 1 block, which smelts 20 items, meaning 9 kelp ultimately smelts 20 items. This efficiency rivals coal and charcoal, making kelp farming a legitimate alternative to traditional fuel gathering. Automated kelp farms produce endless fuel using only water, kelp, and basic redstone mechanics. The Netherite Truth. Netherite represents Minecraft's ultimate material, stronger than diamond and immune to fire or lava destruction. Finding ancient debris in the nether, smelting it into netherite scrap, combining 4 scraps with 4 gold ingots, and finally upgrading diamond equipment creates the most powerful tools and armor available. The material's indestructibility extends beyond player equipment into surprising applications. Netherite items cannot be destroyed by explosions, unlike every other item in the game. This property makes netherite valuable beyond its statistical advantages. Dropped netherite equipment survives creeper explosions, TNT blasts, and even bed explosions in the nether that obliterate surrounding terrain. The immunity to explosive destruction means death in the nether doesn't necessarily mean losing netherite equipment, as it survives the environmental dangers that consume other gear. This explosion immunity enables a mining technique specifically for ancient debris location. Players use TNT or beds, which explode when used in the nether, to clear massive areas of netherrack, exposing ancient debris deposits without destroying them. The netherite-containing blocks survive explosions while surrounding stone is removed, making debris visible against cleared stone. This technique wastes enormous quantities of TNT or wool, but locates ancient debris far faster than manual mining through dense netherrack. Netherite equipment never despawns when dropped, unlike items made from other materials. Regular items disappear after 5 minutes on the ground, but netherite persists indefinitely. This makes netherite effectively permanent, unable to be lost except through deliberate deletion or lava immersion in the overworld where it stays safe. Players who die can return for their netherite equipment hours later, finding it exactly where they dropped it. The wheat wisdom. Growing crops efficiently matters more than many players realize, especially in the early days of survival, when food security determines how far you can wander and how long you can build without interruption. Most players instinctively plant crops in neat rows of the same type, imagining orderly farms as the most effective approach. But beneath the surface, Minecraft's crop growth mechanics reward variety over uniformity. When crops are planted adjacent to different crop types, their growth speed increases. Wheat planted next to carrots, potatoes, or beetroots grows faster than wheat planted next to more wheat. The game checks surrounding farmland blocks and applies hidden growth bonuses for diversity. A checkerboard pattern of mixed crops can grow significantly faster than a monoculture field, even though it may look less tidy. This mechanic mirrors real-world agricultural principles, quietly encouraging biodiversity without ever explaining itself to the player. Hydration plays an equally subtle role. Farmland within 4 blocks of water becomes hydrated, darkening its texture and increasing crop growth speed. But the water does not need to be visible. A single water source buried beneath the soil hydrates farmland in all directions, allowing players to create clean-looking farms without exposed canals. This hidden hydration supports efficient farming while preserving aesthetic simplicity, letting function hide quietly beneath form. Light level also matters. Crops require sufficient light to grow, whether from sunlight or artificial sources like torches and lanterns. But unlike hostile mobs, crops only need a light level of 9 or higher. This means farms can function in dimly lit environments that would otherwise feel unsafe. Underground farms glow softly with torchlight, wheat swaying gently in confined spaces, growing patiently without ever seeing the sky. Farmland itself is fragile in ways that surprise new players. Jumping repeatedly on farmland converts it back to dirt, undoing careful preparation in seconds. But mobs can also trample farmland, which is why farmers often fence fields or place carpet, slabs or trapdoors above farmland to protect it. These blocks prevent trampling while allowing crops to grow normally, creating invisible shields that preserve agricultural effort. Villagers understand farming instinctively. Farmer villagers tend crops, harvest mature plants, and replant seeds automatically. They even share excess food with other villagers, enabling natural village growth without player intervention. Watching a farmer-villager work is like observing a self-sustaining ecosystem quietly functioning in the background, proof that Minecraft's systems often operate independently, whether players are watching or not. The calm mathematics of Redstone. Redstone appears intimidating at first glance, a tangled web of dust, repeaters, comparators, and pistons that seems designed for engineers rather than adventurers. But at its heart, Redstone operates on simple, predictable rules that reward patience and experimentation rather than speed or reflex. Redstone dust carries power for exactly 15 blocks before the signal fades completely. This limit creates rhythm in redstone builds, requiring repeaters to refresh signals and extend distance. Repeaters don't just boost power, they introduce delay. Each click adds a small pause, turning instantaneous reactions into measured sequences. These delays create the gentle timing that allows doors to open smoothly, lights to pulse softly, and machines to operate in calm, repeating cycles. Comparators introduce logic without noise. They compare signal strength, read container contents, and enable machines to react based on fullness rather than binary on-off states. A chest filling gradually can power lamps one by one, creating visual indicators that slowly illuminate as storage fills. These displays feel alive, quietly communicating information without words. Observers detect change itself. They notice when a block updates, a crop growing, a piston extending, a door opening, and emit a brief redstone pulse in response. This sensitivity allows machines to react to the passage of time, creating automatic farms that harvest crops only when they mature, or lighting systems that respond to player movement without switches or buttons. Redstone torches invert logic, turning power into absence and absence into power. This inversion creates oscillation. Two torches feeding into each other blink endlessly, creating one of Minecraft's simplest clocks. These blinking circuits pulse gently, marking time in a world without seasons, where days pass predictably but endlessly. Despite its complexity, Redstone is forgiving. Mistakes don't explode, nothing breaks permanently, and experimentation costs only time and curiosity. Machines can be dismantled block by block, rewired, slowed down, or simplified. In this way, Redstone mirrors Minecraft itself. Systems layered gently atop one another, inviting understanding rather than demanding perfection. Light, darkness, and the quiet rules of spawning. Light governs much of Minecraft's unseen behavior. Hostile mobs spawn only in darkness, requiring a light level of 0 in modern versions of the game. This means even the faint glow of distant torches can prevent danger from forming, creating safe zones defined not by walls, but by illumination. Light spreads outward in diminishing strength, losing 1 level per block traveled. Torches emit a light level of 14, meaning their influence reaches 14 blocks before fading into darkness. Lanterns, glowstones, sea lanterns, and shroom lights all emit light level 15, the maximum possible, casting soft halos of safety in caves and corridors. Understanding this spread allows players to light areas efficiently, spacing torches evenly rather than excessively. Mines become calm, organized spaces instead of chaotic mazes. Paths glow gently, guiding movement without overwhelming the senses. Hostile mobs despawn when players move far enough away, unless they've been named or otherwise made persistent. This constant cycle of spawning and despawning gives the world its sense of quiet renewal. Darkness creates danger, light restores calm, and distance resets the stage entirely. Peaceful mobs follow different rules. Animals spawn based on available grass blocks, biome type, and population caps. Over-farming animals can prevent new ones from appearing, creating subtle pressure to balance consumption and conservation. Even passive life follows limits, reminding players that abundance requires restraint. The subtle personalities of biomes. Each biome in Minecraft carries its own hidden character, expressed not only through terrain and vegetation, but through color palettes, weather patterns, and ambient sounds. Forests hum softly with rustling leaves. Deserts remain eerily silent, windless and still. Swamps bubble faintly, frogs croaking beneath the surface of murky water. Grass and foliage colors shift depending on biome, even for the same block types. Grass in plains appears bright and lively, while jungle grass deepens into rich emerald hues. These subtle shifts create emotional texture without changing mechanics, making different regions feel distinct, even when built from identical blocks. Snowy biomes dampen sound. Footsteps crunch softly. Water freezes. Crops refuse to grow without artificial warmth. These restrictions slow gameplay naturally, encouraging shelter and patience rather than speed. Mushroom fields stand apart entirely. Hostile mobs never spawn there naturally, regardless of light level. The biome exists as a place of calm, safety, and quiet abundance. Giant mushrooms rise from mycelium, cows wear fungal coats, and danger feels like a distant concept rather than an immediate threat. The passage of time. Minecraft days last exactly 20 minutes. 10 minutes of daylight, 7 minutes of night, and 3 minutes of dawn and dusk combined. This steady rhythm creates comfort through predictability. Sunrise always comes, darkness always passes. Nothing interrupts the cycle unless the player chooses to sleep. Sleeping resets night, but it also resets weather and storm timers. Thunderstorms feel dramatic, rare and meaningful because sleep erases them instantly. Choosing not to sleep means accepting lightning, rain, and darkness as part of the world's natural flow. Phantoms exist only to remind players of rest. They appear after 3 sleepless nights, swooping silently through the sky like living consequences, rather than traditional enemies. Their presence encourages balance, exploration paired with rest, ambition softened by care. The gentle weight of blocks. Despite its cubic simplicity, Minecraft simulates weight emotionally rather than physically. Stone feels heavy because it takes time to mine. Wood feels light because it breaks quickly. Obsidian feels monumental because it demands patience, resisting haste with long mining times. Sound design reinforces this perception. Stone cracks sharply, wood thumps hollowly. Wool absorbs noise almost entirely. Breaking blocks becomes rhythmic, almost meditative, each sound reinforcing the material's nature. Even inventory management reflects weight. Stacks cap at 64, imposing gentle limits without realism. Carrying thousands of blocks still feels like effort because sorting and organization demand attention. Chests fill slowly, storage rooms expand gradually. Progress accumulates 1 block at a time. The enduring calm of Minecraft worlds. Minecraft never rushes you. There are no deadlines, no forced objectives, no irreversible failures. Death carries consequence, but not finality. Worlds persist patiently, waiting exactly where you left them. Villages continue their routines. Crops remain planted. Animals wander familiar paths. Even hostile mobs feel more like environmental hazards than enemies with intent. You can walk in one direction forever, watching terrain shift gradually, biomes blending softly into one another. Mountains rise, oceans stretch endlessly. The horizon remains calm, distant, and unthreatening. And so, as the world quietly loads chunk by chunk, block by block, it mirrors rest itself, not an ending, but a gentle pause. A place where nothing demands urgency, where time loops peacefully, where even darkness waits politely for light to return. And as you drift further into sleep, the world continues without you, softly humming, quietly existing, ready to welcome you back whenever you choose to wake. The quiet music of the world. Minecraft is often remembered visually, but much of its emotional weight comes from sound. The music arrives rarely, unpredictably, and softly, never demanding attention. Notes drift in like passing clouds, linger for a moment, then fade without ceremony. Long stretches of silence sit comfortably between melodies, allowing the world itself to breathe. C418's original soundtrack was composed not to guide action, but to accompany stillness. The piano notes feel distant, as though they're echoing from somewhere far beyond the visible terrain. Many players don't even realize music is playing at first. It seeps in gradually, almost subconsciously, blending with footsteps, wind, and ambient noise until it becomes part of the atmosphere rather than a foreground element. Different dimensions carry different soundscapes. The overworld feels open and reflective. The nether hums with low, uneasy tones, distant rumbles, and flickers of fire. The end is nearly silent, punctuated only by the faint whoosh of wind and the echo of footsteps on end stone. Silence there feels intentional, as though sound itself has thinned. Music discs tell a quieter story. Found scattered across the world in dungeons, temples, and strongholds, they feel like artifacts rather than rewards. Each disc holds a different emotional texture, some melancholic, some unsettling, some gently hopeful. When placed into a jukebox, they fill a space with presence, transforming empty rooms into lived-in spaces. Disc 11, cracked and incomplete, stands apart. It feels like a fragment of something lost, a memory rather than a song. No explanation is given. It simply exists, leaving interpretation entirely to the listener. In a game that explains very little directly, this ambiguity feels deliberate. The slow mystery of structures. Minecraft's structures feel less like destinations and more like discoveries. They don't announce themselves. You stumble upon them while wandering, half buried in sand, overgrown with vines, or hidden beneath layers of stone. Mine shafts appear suddenly underground, wooden beams cutting through rock like the remains of forgotten effort. Rails curve into darkness. Cobwebs gather thickly, slowing movement, softening sound. Chests sit quietly at the ends of tunnels, holding items left behind by no one in particular. There's no story given, only implication. Strongholds feel heavier. Stone bricks form rigid corridors beneath the world, long before players ever arrive. Libraries rise unexpectedly underground, shelves towering towards ceilings never meant to be seen. The end portal room waits patiently, unchanged, regardless of how long it takes someone to find it. Ocean ruins rest beneath the surface, half collapsed, worn smooth by time and water. Prismarine blocks fade into sand. Chests sit waterlogged, guarded gently by drowned. Even danger feels subdued underwater. Movement slowed, sound muffled, light filtered into shifting patterns. Woodland mansions stand alone in dark forests, massive and quiet. Their rooms feel intentionally empty, as though built for purposes long forgotten. Corridors stretch wide. Secret rooms hide behind walls. Everything about them suggests intention without explanation. These structures don't demand completion. You can walk through them slowly, leave them unfinished, or never return. The game never insists you do anything with them at all. The Nether's gentle hostility. Despite its reputation, the Nether follows rules just as calm and consistent as the overworlds. Lava flows faster, fire spreads more eagerly, and danger appears closer, but it is still predictable. Lava lakes glow softly, illuminating netherrack walls with warm orange light. Fire crackles gently, spreading across surfaces without urgency. Even hostile mobs move in patterns that can be learned, anticipated, and avoided. Striders walk slowly across lava seas, their steps deliberate and unhurried. They shiver when cold, relax when warmed, communicating emotion through posture alone. Riding one feels oddly peaceful, drifting across molten oceans at a pace that discourages haste. The Nether's biomes each carry distinct moods. Crimson forests feel dense and enclosed. Warped forests glow cool and blue, eerie but strangely calming. Basalt deltas echo softly, footsteps ringing against black stone. Soul sand valleys whisper with wind and distant cries, their blue flames flickering quietly. Even here, nothing rushes you. The end's stillness. The end exists outside time. Its sky remains dark and empty. The terrain stretches flat and pale, broken only by obsidian pillars rising upward like monuments. Gravity feels heavier here, falls more punishing, movement more deliberate. Endermen wander silently across the islands, picking up blocks, placing them elsewhere, never explaining why. Chorus plants grow unpredictably, teleporting those who eat their fruit in random directions. Direction itself feels uncertain. When the dragon is defeated, the end doesn't change dramatically. It doesn't celebrate. It simply allows passage. A gateway opens, credits roll. Then the world returns you gently to where you began. There is no finality, just continuation. Water as rest. Water slows everything. Movement becomes buoyant, sound softens. Vision blurs slightly. In Minecraft, water is both obstacle and comfort. Swimming feels fluid and controlled. Bubbles rise gently. Kelp sways back and forth. Fish move in schools, changing direction together without urgency. Underwater ruins feel distant and dreamlike. Light refracts. Blocks appear softened by motion. Even combat feels less aggressive, slower, easier to disengage from. Conduits enhance this calm. When activated, they grant water breathing, increased vision, and gentle movement speed. The ocean becomes safe, welcoming, almost home-like. Rain above the surface creates its own rhythm. Drops strike water, land, leaves. The sound layers gently, creating a natural white noise that fills the world without overwhelming it. The comfort of repetition. Minecraft thrives on repetition that never feels tiring. Mining stone, planting seeds, walking familiar paths. Each action repeats, but outcomes vary slightly, keeping the experience fresh without becoming stressful. Days pass, nights fall, crops grow, animals wander, villagers murmur. Nothing demands constant attention. You can stop at any moment. Even failure loops gently. Death returns you to a familiar place. Items wait patiently where they fell. Lessons are learned quietly. The game remembers what matters and forgets what doesn't. The infinite horizon. Worlds generate endlessly. There is always more land beyond what you've seen, more caves beneath, more sky above. But you don't need to see it all. You can stay where you are. Build slowly. Watch the sun rise and set from the same spot. Listen to wind move through trees. Hear footsteps echo in caves you've already explored. Minecraft doesn't measure progress by distance traveled or bosses defeated. It measures it by time spent being present. Drifting toward rest. And so the world continues. Chunks load quietly, animals move gently, crops grow unseen, music drifts in and out like thought. Nothing is waiting for you urgently, nothing is lost if you pause, nothing changes if you rest. The world remains soft, patient, still. And as sleep settles in, Minecraft keeps breathing quietly in the background, a place where time loops calmly, where even darkness is temporary, and where you are always welcome to return whenever you wake.